What's good, Tottenham Hotspur fans all around the world? Welcome back to the channel. I am that Hotspurs guy. Call me Kieran. Wipe your feet at the door, you know the score. Kick off your shoes, crack open the booze, hang up your coats, light up some smokes. That means like, comment and subscribe. Look at that behind me. You see that? That's the abyss. That is where Tottenham, problem Hotspur, could possibly be heading. Tonight is Judgment Day, people. Judgment Day tonight. All right. It's like after five something in the morning. It's after 5 something in the morning. There's like 14, 15 hours to go, and we got a big game at home tonight against Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest and West Ham got themselves results last night, which means they are now 1 point behind us. Showing fight, showing spirit, showing all of that personality, all of that, showing a team togetherness, what our team lacks, and what our team has been lacking for quite a few seasons now. I'm not having any of this, oh, the players were playing for Ange. No, they weren't. We all remember Maddison and Son sitting on the bench. He just keeps doing the same thing. I don't know why we're doing the same thing. We know this, people. There are many people already who have what you might call ITKs or whatever within the club, and they all pretty much said as well, once the Bodo Glimt game came around, all of the players threw Ange's tactics out the window. Your tactics aren't going to win us anything, mate. We're doing our thing. That was even said about Romero too. All right, but we got a big game tonight, people, and I don't want to hear no other shits about whether it's the manager or Enoch or the players. These men need to turn up tonight, bro. I don't care what the problem is at Problem Hotspur. These men need to turn up tonight. I'm not having this. I don't want to see any poor, weak, lackluster performance, not being able to pass the ball 5-10 yards, which is what we have been like for most of the season and last season, barely being able to string passes together, barely having shots on target, even at home or away. It doesn't matter. Oh, look, man. And again, it's like if we don't get the 3 points tonight, because again, nothing short of 3 points is what's needed tonight. Not a draw. I don't even want to fathom a loss. That's how bad it is. I don't even want to fathom a loss, knowing that we got my brother scumbag team for the next game at Anfield, where we haven't won since the day I don't even know the last time we won at Anfield, but I know it's been a long frigging time. You know what I'm saying? So I've been watching a few Spurs YouTubers, you know, and some of their guests, you know, and when they speak about being old enough to remember relegation and that, my pops is similar, my dad's similar, you know. It was always 77, 78. So my dad was able to be conscious enough and old enough to remember how all of that felt. And my dad told me about that too, you know. So as a Spurs fan today, that's not something I particularly want to see. But at the same time, it's like the selfish person in me is kind of like, no, like I feel like this club deserves it. I feel like this club deserves it because, as I've said on this channel many times, is that this club has been self-sabotaging itself from since Harry Redknapp's infamous January transfer window. And Maz from Spurs Corner, he was speaking on Spurs Danilist channel, and he was saying the same thing as well. He's like, as soon as he mentioned it, I was like, yes, Maz, that's what it's the same for me too. I felt like this club was on a downward trajectory when they effed over Harry Redknapp. And you guys remember where we were sitting at the time as well. You know, how many points clear ahead of Arsenal, how many points off the top. I think we were like 5 points off the top. And then Redknapp's like, look, get me Aguero or Tevez and Chris Samba or Gary Cahill. And the club's like, I'll get you always injured Louis Saha and soon to be relegated with Blackburn Ryan Nelson. There you go. Do your best, you know. And I also believe that Tottenham Hotspur getting Champions League football was the worst thing that ever happened to this club, because ever since we got it, the club cares nothing more about just getting that Champions League money. They don't have no ambition of trying to win it, no ambition of trying to be the top team in London, which is what I said we should be, because as expression says, we built a Spurnabout, bro. We built a Spurnabout, and we got rid of the Galacticos that we had. You know what I'm saying? Didn't add towards it. So it's like our players have been kind of trash ever since, like, because again, some of our players started to fall off at the ending of Poch's tenure, and then Jose Mourinho came in. We got rid of a few players. Some other players were still falling down, but the best thing that Jose Mourinho had was the partnership of Son and Kane, which Jose Mourinho started in order for them to surpass Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard. You know what I mean? So at the same time, it's like under Mourinho knew exactly who his best players were. Get it to Serge Aurier, bombing down the right. You know what I'm saying? I think we still had Eriksen, whether Eriksen was down tooling or not, but Eriksen was still good enough, you know? And then we had Son and Harry bloody Kane, you know what I'm saying? And then after Jose Mourinho, we went into Nuno, and our players have just been getting more and more trash, more and more trash, more and more trash. Does anybody remember when Conte came in, and then we was always asking, like, why is Conte not playing Basuma? Why is he not playing Basuma? And he was saying things like, Basuma, he's not tactically there. And it's like, now we kind of see it, because Ian Lubo from Spurs Corner, he said something similar as well, where he mentioned the game against Arsenal at the Emirates, where he could have given the ball away, but instead he turned around, ran into a blockage, lost the ball, and then boom, there was the goal. And we've seen that many times from Basuma. But again, it's like I said in one of my previous videos, where it's like we have a squad of players who have either been relegated or in teams that were fighting relegation. So it's no wonder that we are where we are today. You know, yeah, sure, we have a couple of good players. I would like to keep Paulina. I would like to get him off a loan and keep Paulina. I would like to see more from Simmons, you know what I'm saying? VDV, I would love to keep VDV, but there's no hope of keeping him. There's no hope of keeping him, you know? But then other than that, who else is there? Who else is there? We've got nobody scoring. We got Richarlison as our Kane replacement, you know what I'm saying? We don't have anybody, man. We don't have anybody, and then we've still got half of the squad still out injured. And I feel like that's what Enoch, the board members, the suits, the people in suits, I feel like that's what they were waiting for. Because I feel like they sat down, saw what happened with Ange last season. He had injury issues like crazy as well, most of which was his issue, was his problem, that was his fault. But that's neither here nor there. And then it's like they saw most of those players come back just at the end of the season in order to elevate us to the trophy of the Europa League. And I kind of feel like that's what they was hoping for, the same thing to happen again this season. Let's just wait. Let's not buy anybody in January. And that's my issue, because it's like we had the January transfer window. Whether or not they knew they was gonna get rid of Frank or not, they should have been bringing in people. And if they weren't going to bring in any signings, then all hands on deck. Call back the some of the boys that's on loan, like the Solomons, the Vuskovic, the Mikey Moores. Brother, I'm sorry, you man got to come back. I know you don't want to come back to North London right now, but you got to come back and help us out, because now everybody's asking for the young players from the academy to just play. But then it's like half earlier on in the season, when some people were saying things like, oh, just let some of the youngest play because we've seen enough from these players and they aren't doing enough, then everybody's like, well, the young players aren't good enough. There's a reason why they're not playing. And then now everybody wants the young players to play. Like I'm saying, we should have been doing that time ago. We should have been doing that time ago, because again, we don't get to see enough of these young players if we keep sending them out on loan somewhere, and then there's no sort of there's no stipulation in their contract where it's like they have to play at least 10 games in the season, or they have to come off like they got to play 10 games in the season and they got to come off the bench at least 7 times or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like that in their contract. So some of these, man, they move off and they don't really get to do much, you know? But it should have been all hands on deck. But we got a big game tonight, people. It's a big thing tonight. Big game tonight. And again, nothing short of 3 points. Nothing short of 3 points, man. This is a joke now. I'm sorry, this is a joke. We've lost far too many games. No wins this calendar year. And Spurs could be getting relegated, bro. You think I want to be hearing from a bunch of other fans, including my brother who's an Arsenal fan, my other brother who's a Liverpool fan, your team's relegated, your team's dead. I've got people at work right now, Chelsea, Manchester United, Man City fans. What's going on for your team, Kay? What's going on for your team? I'm like, no, I know my team. I know my team, and I know my team is trash. That's why we're called Problem Hotspur. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I ain't got nothing more for you people, but I just wanted to just quickly come in here while I finish work and just quickly rabble off the mouth about tonight's Judgment Day. And that's all it is. I just wanted to speak about Judgment Day and just sort of things that was just kind of floating through my head as I was working today, keeping myself busy, you know? Or last night, should I say. So yeah, man, I'll be back again tonight, people. I might do my reaction down by the Spurs stadium. I might do it down by the Spurs stadium, you know. And then if we lose, then I can turn around and give it the middle finger. But yeah, man, thank you for everybody who's still watching. Thank you to everybody who subscribed and the new subscribers as well. Hit me up again, people. I am that Hotspurs guy. Call me Kieran. Make sure to wipe your feet at the door. Peace.